This is a podcast by Skye.
I'm Skye Wimmer.
And I'm Molly Alt. Today we're going to talk about how hysteria is created in different cases.
First, what is hysteria? Hysteria is an exaggerated or uncontrollable emotion or excitement, especially among a group of people.
In the podcast Serial and the play The Crucible, there are several examples of hysteria and how it's created.
In The Crucible, there is a lot of hysteria regarding the spread of witchcraft throughout the community.
The Crucible is a play based on a lie to make a few girls look better about themselves, so they accuse other people of witchcraft. Serial is a podcast based upon a true story of the murder of Hay-Min-Lee. The purpose is to try and prove that Hay's ex-boyfriend, Adnan, did not commit the murder.
One example in Act 1 of The Crucible is when Betty rises up out of her bed and screams, quote, "I want the light of God. I want the sweet love of Jesus," end quote. She does this as a reaction to hearing John and Abigail talking about their relations, but everyone thought it was because she heard the word Jesus while they were singing.
In Serial, during the trial, Adnan whispers to Jay, the person that accused him of the murder, that he is a coward, as Jay was going up to the stand to testify. The jury wasn't sure what Adnan had said, so they assumed it was a harsh comment or threat. In Act 2 of The Crucible, an example of hysteria is when Elizabeth accuses John of going to Salem to see Abigail. Because he is scared of her judgment, he loses his temper and yells at her, as well as tries to place the blame on Elizabeth. Quote, "No more, I should have roared you down when first you told me your suspicion," end quote.
In Serial, there is a similar situation Adnan has going on. He is accused of asking Hay for a ride the day she was murdered, but he said he never would have done that because he knew she needed to pick up her cousin from school. But other people claim they heard him ask her for a ride that day at school.
The people accusing both Adnan and John of doing wrong don't know what actually happened.
In Act 3 of The Crucible, Judge Danforth says, quote, "Do you know who I am? And do you know that near to 400 are in the jails from Marblehead to Lynn upon my signature, and 72 condemned to hang by that signature," end quote. Danforth is saying that he has the power to put them in jail or even hang. He doesn't want his reputation to look bad, or he will do whatever it takes to make himself look better.
In Serial, Adnan's lawyer, Christina Gutierrez, fails to bring up a lot of the evidence that could have proven Adnan was innocent. One example is a letter that one of the students from Woodlawn High School, Asia, wrote to Adnan. Asia's letter contradicted Adnan's story because Asia said she saw him at the library at the time of Hay's murder, and Adnan said he was on campus all day. The library is right next to the school, and Adnan could have just meant that he was still on campus.
In Act 4 of The Crucible, John Proctor refused to sign a paper for his confession because he feared his name would be diminished. He asked Judge Danforth to let his word be enough, but Judge Danforth said that for his confession to be taken, his name has to be put on front of the church. He screams at them, quote, "You are the high court. Your word is enough. Tell them I confess myself," say Proctor, broke to his knees and wept like a woman. "Say what you will, but my name cannot," end quote.
Adnan has still refused to admit the murder of Hay-Min-Lee. If he would admit, he would have the chance to get out of jail even though he was sentenced to life. Adnan's case has reopened and he is getting a new trial, but if he would have admitted to murdering her, he would be out of jail, if not very close.
Hysteria was used in both cases to create a bigger situation that actually occurred. If both cases wouldn't have been exaggerated, the outcome would have been different.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoyed it.